Karine, will you take our Jewish audience?
So I want to talk about CPI inflation. The CPI inflation report came out today. It was hotter than expected, 3.7% year over year, unchanged from the prior month. You talk about all the spending last year to lower costs. The last couple of months, how is that lowering costs?
So look, what we believe is that Bidenomics is an action, right? You're talking about lowering costs, right? And that's something that the president is certainly continuing to do. Inflation is falling while employment remains strong. As you speak to CPI, inflation has fallen 60%. Since last summer, and the core inflation, as you're speaking to this data, fell to its lowest level in 2 years, and so that matters. Let's not forget about wages are higher than they were last year, accounting for inflation. Prices fell for core goods like cars and furniture for the 4th month in a row. All of those pieces are in the data, the CPI that came out today, and that matters.
But people still hear Bidenomics and they see rent is up 7.4% year over year. Car repairs, car insurance is up almost 19%. So costs are not coming down for all Americans.
So here's the thing. As we know that when it comes to housing, people are still dealing with a lot, right? We understand how that economic hardship as it relates to housing specifically. That's why the president put forth a plan to deal with, on the federal level, how to help people lower costs with housing. So that is important as well. But when you think about wages, wages are indeed up, which matters over the last year, accounting for inflation, and even more for blue-collar workers and those not in management. So that matters, as I mentioned moments ago. So look, the president's going to continue to grow the economy. We talk about Bidenomics. We see the economy growing. We see unemployment at under 4%. We see jobs created under this administration as more than 13 million jobs, more than 14 million jobs at this point. And that's what we're going to focus on. When it comes to Republicans, they want to slash taxes for the wealthy. That's what they want to do. That's what they're putting forward. Cut Social Security, cut Medicare, cut Medicaid. They already started talking about that again recently. So the president's going to focus on what is needed for the American people to continue to give them that little bit of breathing room. And that's what the president's going to focus on. Let's not forget yesterday.
Is it still appropriate for the president to go to Philadelphia tomorrow, given all the Americans trying to get out of Israel and the imminent ground war there?
Well, look, the president has to do multiple things at once. Multiple things at once. The president's going to go to Philly. He's going to continue to talk about Bidenomics. He's going to continue to talk about what he's doing to bring back manufacturing, to create good-paying jobs. That's what you're going to hear from Americans. That's something that Americans also want to hear from. The president has been engaged in the situation that we're currently seeing, the horrific situation that we're seeing in Israel. That's what he's going to continue to do. He was engaged today. He's been engaged for the last every day since the attacks, and we're going to do everything that we can. We just announced, right? State just announced the charter flights, right? So that's something that is going to help get Americans out of Israel. And also commercial flights are still ongoing. I want to make that very clear. But the president is going to make Americans a priority. He has to do multiple things at once. That's what you're going to see the president do. Go ahead.